Shalom. I got people in here. All right.
Sunlight, just beautiful.
All right, so I want to get started, giving all honors and thanks and praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. And I also want to give all honors and praise and thanks to the elders and prophets for us that been pushing this word long before we've been here. And I also want to thank you, the Ak and the Akwa, for listening and learning, supporting us through this journey. In today's lesson, we want to jump on captivity and talk about oppression and the people being robbed and spoiled, because that's the time we're pertaining to right now, where we're going through the midst of oppression. You got different things going on with police brutality, then you got COVID, where they're taking laws and rights away that you never thought they could take away. So we just wanted to touch on different aspects of how the Lord teaches us how to deal with captivity in different situations. Our ancestors been in captivity, how they went through it and how they dealt with it. So I want to start off today. I'm going to start off with probably a lot of people already know this verse, but it's very prevalent at the times we are now, because we are people robbed. So I want to start off with Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, which is the wisdom of Yahweh. I will also reject thee, which he has rejected us. He spit us out. We have no more rulership, no more kingdom. We are ballers. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. And as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore I will change their glory into shame. 8. And they eat up the sin of my people. They set their heart in iniquity, their iniquity. So basically what they're saying is that we have gone away backwards. We have went away from the law when we don't follow it anymore. It's like brothers out here today, following the laws and not eating properly. They're not following the way of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. People are just going astray, and they're wondering why things ain't working out like it should. It's because you're not following the Most High. The Most High didn't instruct you to do all this. But I also want to touch on Isaiah 42:22, which touches on us as a people being robbed and spoiled from our knowledge, because we have been away from our way of life and our culture for over 400 years. It's a lot of things that we have cognitive dissonance to when it comes to certain economical and world situations. We don't know how to handle them, just like with this police brutality situation. Anything you want to touch on, Darren, before you start jump to your part?
I mean, I really touch on it like later on, like towards like closing and stuff like that.
Okay.
To go more into detail on that one, I'm gonna jump to Daniel chapter 7, and I'm gonna read verses 4 through 7. Verse 4. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Behold, another beast, a second, like a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they had said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of its 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. After that I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake it in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. So basically, this is talking about the division of the 4 beasts, or basically, the dominions that will rule the earth during that time. I have a picture of it about telling you who the dominions are. But basically, what you need to get from that one is he's telling you about, like I just said, about the dominions. All right, so we're in the last captivity, which is America, and a lot of people don't understand. We've been in captivity, since we started going away from the law. And a lot of people have to understand America is Babylon. It might not be like specifically the place, but it's spiritually that, as well as Egypt, as well as all the other ones that he's talking about. And you can go more in detail about, the beast with the 10 horns and things like that in Revelations. It's just more in detail about the vision of Daniel. But basically, what I want people to understand out of that one is just, we're still in captivity. So when people are trying to, come and do these riots and things like that, you're not doing anything but talking to your oppressor. Your oppressor is still going to continue to oppress you. You can either do a peaceful protest or you can do, a violent protest. It's not going to do anything. You're not going to beat the government. Basically, is what I'm saying. We're in captivity because we did it to ourselves, just like he just read in Hosea 4:6.
Exactly. It's basically we have to put ourselves in this predicament, and the only way we can get out is we got to trust in the Most High. How about Shah? We got to put laws. Jump down to the other part. I wanted to touch on Isaiah 5:13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. So basically, what 13 is talking about we have gone in captivity, just like Brother Dan was talking about earlier, because we have no knowledge of ourselves. We have no knowledge of how this world works anymore because we do not follow Yahweh, because he lays out laws and he tells us the way to govern our economy and govern a government in the kingdom the proper way. And these people that we're living up under, they do not go by the same morality and the same laws that Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah follows. So we have to get an understanding that we have to step away from these people and govern ourselves properly in the eyes of Yahweh. And then jump down to 1 Samuel 15:23. For rebellion is as sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity of idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of Yahweh, he also reject thee, being king. So see right there, he's like, no, so he rejected us from being king. He took our crown away. Did nobody take that from us but Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh? He took that crown away because we didn't earn it. We had to play, so he'll show us.
It's hard to hear you a little bit.
So he'll show us.
Go again.
Just to reiterate what I was saying, is basically he was saying he was going to take the crown and take the kingdom and the rulership from our people, because at one time we ruled the whole world. We were the ones who were stipulating the laws to the people. But now we're in a predicament where we have to follow the laws and govern by Esau. So now we have to return back to the Most High and get that understanding back. Anything you want to touch on before I jump down to the next portion?
No, you got it, bro.
All right. So now this is another part we're going to focus on oppression and people being spoiled. I'm going to start with Jeremiah 2:33. Well, 32. Can a maid forget her ornaments, or a bride her attire? Yet have people forgotten my days without number? Why trimmest thou a way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways? So basically, what the Most High is trying to say, and what he's trying to convey in that message, he's telling the people of Israel, have y'all forgotten your ways? Have y'all forgotten the holy days? Are y'all falling behind the wicked ways of the heathens? Because that's not the way he taught us. So he's basically trying to get y'all to come back and understand that these laws are in our benefit. They're not for our detriment. They're in our benefit.
I mean, also with 33, he's also talking about like it's been many of our people have become like coons. You know what I'm saying? Like the only reason they understand the things that the only way that the Jewish know what to do and the way that they're doing, our people had to teach them. It was people back then that knew they were Israelites, but they still decided to make amends with the enemy and teach them like our ways and our customs. So everything that the Jewish is basically doing, they stole it from us. Like I mentioned in the other video, I think the encyclopedia of like 1925, it tells you, the Jewish wrote it. It's telling you, modern Jewry are like the Edomites. So the Edomites learned everything from us because our people taught them our ways. Is what he's also conveying in that statement too.
Exactly.
It's on me.
Second Ezra
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
6:27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. 28. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which has been so long without fruit, shall be declared. So that's just like the times now. That's just like you see the Israelites and you see the Hebrews. They come out here pushing the message, and it's not just us. It's other nations too. They're pushing the message about the lies about all of this. It's all Esau's lies about these fake stage killings and shootings. Because a lot of these are staged. These people know each other and they have code words and different psyops. They already know how they're gonna operate and go about these plans. And we have to get an understanding of how this stuff works because we're being fooled and we never get an understanding out of any of this. So what the Lord is trying to say there is that all unrighteousness will be finished. Like he will expose everything. All lies will be done away with, and the truth will have to reign. Because the truth is the only thing that will set us free.
Said everything on out. It's on me, bro.
Yep.
All
Deuteronomy
right. So
20.
I'm gonna say what?
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah. All
Deuteronomy
right.
28, 29.
All right. So I'm gonna jump to 28. Deuteronomy 28 and 15 real quick. So 28 Deuteronomy 28 is all talk about the blessings. It's in verses 1 through 14, and then 15 to the end. He's talking about the curses. So what a lot of people have to understand is, he gave you an option. He said, this is what's going to happen if you obey my laws and my commandments. This is what's going to happen if you fail to uphold them. And 15, it says, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So he lists, these curses. And he's not going to confuse you or stuff like that. He told you straightforward, this is what's going to happen if you do not want to be set apart and be holy. And you see him, till this day. And then you got anything to touch on that one?
Yeah, just like you said, just like he was talking about the curses. Like if you read through the curses yourself, you'll start to see them. You'll start to realize that these curses only match one people, and you'll start to understand that the reason why we're in this predicament, and a lot of our people don't want to come to this realization. It's like they almost hate the fact that it's our fault. It's because we didn't follow laws and rules that we were supposed to, and these curses detail everything that we're going through right now. You want answers to this. You can't go to news media. You can't go to CBS. Can't go to NBC because they don't have none of those answers. The only person that's gonna have the answers is Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and it's in this word, and it's always been here. No book will match his mate.
Exactly. All right, I'm I'm gonna read 45 and 46,
Yep.
Deuteronomy 28, verses 45 and 46. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenedest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So what 45 is telling you, he's telling you these curses, they're going to continue to chase you and overtake you and destroy you because you didn't want to hearken to the commandments and his statutes, which he gave us, that day. And 46 is saying, you're going to see it. You're going to see it, and all the other nations are going to see it and everything else. And you see it today. A lot of our people see it, but a lot of us don't want to, try to understand it. But I mean, he also told you, people have eyes and won't be able to see, and ears that they won't be able to hear. Like the man of the Lord is telling you, these things are happening because of this. But a lot of people don't want to accept the fact, or a lot of people want like swift and certain, or like revenge so soon, and it's not going to happen like that. We have to start with ourselves You're not going to defeat an entity who is blessed with the sword. That's just a failure.
Exactly.
I mean, you got anything to touch on that, man?
No, based on you hit it, bro. Basically, you hit it on the head, just like you said. Esau has a blessing of the sword, and we can't try to fight with Esau Edom because that's not what we're here to do. That's what Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai is here to do. But I wanted to touch on Deuteronomy because we're in Deuteronomy a lot today because we're trying to wake up our people. But I want to jump on Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. So right here he's talking about Egypt, but he's not talking about physical Egypt. He's talking about Egypt meaning a place of bondage, a place of confusion. So let's go. So with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. So he's saying we're going to be delivered by ships. So he's talking about present slavery. He's talking about slavery that happened, transatlantic slavery. That's what he's talking about. That's the only time a mass group amount of people were delivered in ships. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So that's basically like the predicament we are of today. Today we still are slaves because an employee is a slave. Just to be frank about it, it's just a cleaned up word because you got to go back. You got to go to that. You got to go back to your master. They clock in, get their paycheck. Indentured servitude, same thing, and nothing has changed. They just might have spruced it up, made it look pretty on the outside, but once you get in the inside and realize how this beast system works, it'll eat you alive. And the Lord told you this before it happened. But go ahead.
I mean, no, go ahead. I mean, I'll touch on it after you finish.
Okay. And another thing I want to touch on before I go to Brother Dan is the Lord told you that this was going to happen before it happened. So he already had foreshadowed this in our future because he know we're going to go way backward. So all he's doing is he's trying to tell us just to come back. Go ahead, brother.
So when he's talking about 68, when he says, I'm going to touch on 2 points. When he says, thou shalt see it no more, he's talking about Israel.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's telling you that you will know you will not see it no more, then that's telling you that the people over there in that land are not the real Jews, and that's a different story as well. But also when he says no man shall buy you, well, think about it. When he's talking about buy, it's just an old term. It's like redeem you, like save you. No man shall save you from being, a slave man and a slave woman. I mean, if you already bought, if you already sold into your enemy, I mean, you've already been bought. So you cannot. That's just backwards. If people think you've been sold, you cannot be bought. That's just double negative, basically.
Exactly.
But he's talking about like redeem you. That's what he's talking about. But it's on me.
I'm gonna jump on Hosea 8:1.
All right.
Set the trumpet to thy mouth, and he shall come as an eagle against the house of the Lord, because he has transgressed my covenant and trespassed against my law. So here again, he's telling you that he's going to send enemies our way because we have transgressed the law. We haven't been following the ways. We've not been keeping the holidays. We're following all these pagan holidays. We also are eating improperly, and we're not treating ourselves and upholding ourselves to the righteousness that the Bible puts us to. So what Yahweh is going to do is he's going to show us better. He's going to show us better. He can tell us because he already told us once. I'm going to show you. Stiff neck people.
I mean, to touch on that one, I'm gonna jump to 2. He says, "Israel shall cry unto me, my power, we know thee." Well, I'm gonna jump to 2, and then I'm gonna jump to 8 real quick. But 2, I mean, a lot of people, you hear it now. We can't walk up to like religious people and be like, "Hey, God's not listening to you." They're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" I know, I know God. I talk to Him every day and stuff like that. But like Yahweh Shai, the Hamashiach tells you, you got to be doer of the word. So a lot of people, will cry out, yeah, I know you and stuff like that. But like we're in Deuteronomy right now, a lot of people are not upholding the law, statutes, and commandments, and people are just like lying. Basically, at 8, Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. So that right there is touching on, how we'll be among the Gentiles like we did on the video previously. he talks about the Gentiles. So he's telling you, I'm going to put them among the Gentiles, which he's talking about the children of Israel, is what I wanted to touch on that point. But
Okay.
it's on me.
Yeah, 32:26.
32 and 26. Oh, I'm gonna read 28 and 29 real quick since we're in 28, and then I'm gonna jump to
Yeah,
32.
go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28 and 29, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. He talking about now. We always complaining. That's just what we do. We grope, we do this and that. I mean, we just like crabs in a barrel. If somebody rises and is doing the best they can, our people are quick to come down and like knock them down or to harm them and make sure they don't, they don't prosper. Which he's telling you, this is what's going to happen. But he goes more into detail on, 54. You can read that on your time. I'm gonna jump to 32 and 29. So Deuteronomy 32 verse 29. Well, I'm going to start at 28. But they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. So in 28, people are not understanding what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They're just like in derision. People are just like, oh, what's going on, and stuff like that. And then he said, if only they were wise, they would understand this. They would consider, what's the end. But like you say, in church, quote unquote, a lot of people don't touch on the curses and the things like that. And a lot of people still think the Israelites are done away with. But, that's a different story for a different lesson. But,
There's no end
he's
to no people.
straightforward. Yeah. He's telling you straightforward, y'all, like, you see the signs and the wonders, and nobody is trying to understand what's going on. If only you were wise enough to understand this, and the only way you can get wisdom is if you follow the commandments. David told you that in Psalms. You get a good understanding through precepts and following the laws.
Without precepts, I get understanding.
Exactly, man. That's in it. Got to be Psalms 109 if I'm correct. I can't remember what
Psalms
verse.
119, 104 through 106.
My bad.
You good, man?
Think I'm gonna jump to Deuteronomy 130 verses 1
Yep,
and 2.
30, 1 through 2.
And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations where the Yahweh thy power hath driven thee. Well, he's letting you need to repent. You know what I'm saying? Like, the title of 30 is Great Mercies Promised to the Repentant. So you have to repent, meaning turn away from your wicked deeds. Don't just confess your sins, like, oh, I did this, and keep doing it. No, what he's saying is repent, return to the laws. You return to the laws. I mean, Jacob's trouble is going to happen anyways, but you have a better chance of having your soul saved if you return to the laws. Like, a lot of people read the Bible, two things. Like I said, they think the Israelites are done away with, and they think the laws are done away with. But if the laws were done away with, then people would not be in the situation. The Israelites, would not be in the situation today.
Exactly.
You read through Second Ezra, didn't you? Yeah,
One.
you read Second Ezra 6, 7 through
Yes,
9.
sir.
All right. It's on. I think was oppressed and spoiled.
No,
Yeah.
I
So.
gotta read. I gotta read second Ezra.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, bro.
So we're gonna jump down to second. Like brother Darren was talking about. And Yahweh's not a man. I just wanted to touch on another verse. Yahweh's not a man that he lies or he goes back on his word. So if he told you something in Deuteronomy, he's telling you you need to follow the laws and the covenant for salvation. That's what you need to do. But he's not gonna go back on it. It's not gonna change. He's not gonna change one jot, one jittle. Oh, you can eat pork now. You can eat shrimp. No, no, no. He doesn't lie. He don't go back on his word. And what he says, he means. So I want to touch on Numbers 23:19. Yahweh is not a man that he lies. Neither is the Son of man, that he should repent. He has said, shall he not do it? He has spoken, shall he not make it good? So again, that's confirmation. Everything we saying, it's gonna make good on all this. To get back in the swing of things, down to 2nd Ezra 6, 7 through 9. Start at verse 7. Then answered I said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? What shall be the end of the verse, the beginning of it that follows? 8. And he said unto him, from Abraham to Isaac, Jacob and Esau were born to him. Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau. Basically, back in Genesis, the birth of Jacob Esau, like he's trying to remind you, is that Jacob came out after Esau, and that symbolizes rulership. So, jumping to 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that follows. So right there, he's telling you again that the time that Esau is ruling, and he has dominion, he has power. That you should know that these are the end times. This is the very end. That's very trying to get that. Then I was going to jump down to you got Romans 12:19.
Nah, I'm gonna end out. I'm gonna end with
Okay.
that one.
Okay.
The
All right.
next
So
one, the next topic is oppressed and spoiled on all sides. So we're gonna touch on that one.
Go ahead.
No, you started. You got Jeremiah 2:33.
All right. We already done.
Oh, did you do 2nd Ezra 6:28?
We did all that.
Oh dang, did we really? Wow. Okay then. I guess we went through it quickly. I didn't expect that one. But
Y'all gonna get some more. We're gonna keep going. 12 nights. Go ahead, man. We got some more, man, before we close it out.
Oh, what, Romans 12:19?
No, we can leave that alone. I got some we can touch on. We got more stuff to touch on, man.
Oh, I got I went through most of my precepts, bro. Oh, well, we can go through the part. We already touched on, the Israelites and stuff like that, but we can touch on the other parts, on like the parts about Esau and his people. How's it going to affect them?
Exactly.
So I'm gonna start with Job 27. All right, I'm gonna jump to Job 27 and I'm gonna read verses 13 through 15. All right, so Job 27 verses 13 through 15. This is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. So when I'm talking about his widows shall not weep, is the part that I'm going to touch on. It's been a lot of Caucasian women speaking out against what's going on and standing for the Black Lives Matters and things like that, because it's a lot of people that understand that what they're doing is not right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a few women who husbands are police officers, and even police officers that's been speaking, but we're talking about the women right now. This is basically saying that the wicked will face punishment. So everything that the cops and Esau Edom as a whole is doing, the Lord is not doing anything but preparing them for slaughter. Basically, if he has a lot of children, okay, that's just more people being slaughtered, and his women are not going to weep because they get tired of the wickedness as well. Just because they are part of his nation doesn't mean they don't have a conscience of understanding right from wrong. So they're not going to weep, and more than likely the Most High is going to take upon them, and take care of them. Of course, they're going to go into slavery, but they're not going to have a wicked end like Esau Edom is going to have.
Exactly. And to kind of piggyback off of that, like he's explaining about the weeping wives, and you got different women coming out speaking about different atrocities they're witnessing inside different homes and things that you wouldn't see inside Utah. Because some of the things that people show you, you wouldn't see on a normal basis unless you got to peek behind the window. And we have a lot of people inside that are finally exposing. So I want to jump to Psalm 64 and 8. So they can make their own tongues to fall
Speak
upon
up
them.
real quick.
Hmm?
Speak up. Go ahead.
All right. Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So basically, what that's talking about is how you got just like he said, you have women speaking out about Black Lives Matter and it's coming out here speaking the truth, and their tongue is falling upon themselves because that Edomite wife she's still a part of the Edomite kingdom, and for it to work, she has to be a willing participant of it, and she's not a willing participant. The whole thing falls apart. So what are you saying now? You have this dissension in the ranks. You have some Edomites that fully on like, okay, we're going with the program. Then you have some that's wavering, and what this does is this creates a divide. And just like the Most High says, a house that's divided cannot stand. It don't matter if it's us. It don't matter if it's Satan. It don't matter what house it is. You divided in dissension in the ranks, eventually it's going to crumble because you're going to start picking each other, fighting each other. And that's where you see these different information wars. You have certain people on social media that are putting out the truth. And then you have certain social medias that are straight bashing them and going against them, back and forth, back and forth. And it's not just the Hebrew, it's Edomites doing the same thing.
To touch on that one, I'm gonna jump to piggyback on that one. I should say I'm gonna jump to Psalms 94. I'm gonna read 16, and then I'm gonna jump to 20 through 23. So Psalms 94, verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? And it's straight like that. Like, okay, you got all this wickedness happening in the world. Where are those that are trying to, bring upon righteousness? Who will stand up for us against the workers of iniquity? And the answer is Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteousness and condemn the innocent blood. But Yahweh is my defense, and my power is the rock of my refuge. He shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, Yahweh our power shall cut them off. So he's telling you right there, the Lord will avenge his people. Simple as that. You just got to have patience of the saints. Just keep doing what you're doing, following the law, statutes, and commandments. Yes, these things are going to happen, but it was already prophesied before. The 2/3 had to deal with theirs. And you just got to go through the Jacob's, time of Jacob's trouble. It's just birth pains bringing into the new kingdom. Esau doesn't like to, not have rulership. So that's what's going on. It's just transpiring, until our kingdom. You got anything to touch on that one?
Yes, sir. I'm pulling up a verse right now. And just like he was saying earlier, he was touching on basically touched on that word, that phrase is the patience of the saints. And what he means by that is the patience of his people, is us right now, because we're going through it. And we have to have patience. We have to have tact. We gotta be meek. We gotta be humble. Because it's gonna be a lot, just like he said, we're gonna go through a lot. It's not gonna be easy. And just like right now, you see they're attacking us in the media, and you see that we have different riots and different protests going on. This stuff is gonna happen. It's gonna build. It's gonna keep building and building. But we have to understand that we gotta keep a cool mindset between us because we have to keep that patience. So I want to jump to Revelation 14, verse 12. So here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yahweh Shah. So that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. We got to keep the commandments of Yahweh and keep the faith of Yahweh Shah. That he's going to come back. He's going to save us. Because
it's a war that's already won.
Mm-hmm. Already won. You already know the ending, man.
All right, I'm gonna jump towards the front. I'm gonna jump to. No, I'm gonna end with that one. So I'm gonna go to Genesis chapter 9,
Got them
verse
two verses
6.
got to end.
Yeah, I'm gonna end with Exodus 21:20. I'm gonna go over now, but I'm gonna end it before Romans. So I'm gonna jump to Genesis 9:6. So chapter 9, verse 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For the image of Yahweh made he man. So basically, Esau Edom was blessed with the sword, right? Bloodshed. So he's telling you in Genesis, even before they were even born, before anything happened, he's telling you, if you kill a man, then the only way to make it equal is to shed his blood. Simple as that. Like that's the only way, revenge will happen. But I may as well just read Exodus because it goes along with it. So Exodus 21, verses 23 and 24. And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. So to touch on that one, I agree that the police officer should receive the death sentence. I don't think he should have a light sentence because like you took this man's life. You know what I'm saying? So in the eyes of the Most High, the only way you can solve it is like I just read in Genesis, bloodshed for bloodshed, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Like whatever you do to me, it should be done to you. But in Esau's kingdom, you know, there's unrighteous dealings, and this is why the energy and the momentum of his kingdom is going to be moved to Jacob because he proved to himself for many years, like 500 or so years, that he's not fit to run a kingdom. You see what he's trying to do? Like, it's doing nothing, but he's trying to get like total control, and it's just nothing but like hell to pay for. I mean, but on our end, we deserved it and stuff like that. But basically, he's not fit to rule a kingdom, and it's just evidence. And it's about that time that it's time to transition to the righteous, which that's why we have to return to the laws and the statutes and the commandments, so that we can prove our point that Esau is not fit to rule. You got anything to touch on that one, man?
Yes, I got a verse right here. Hold on.
Let me know when you're ready. If not, I'll read another one.
Go ahead, read another one.
Go ahead,
All
read
right, so I'm gonna jump to
it.
Habakkuk, chapter 1. I'm gonna read verses 3 and 4. Why dost thou show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that right raise up strife and contention. Therefore the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. Just like I was just saying about unrighteous dealings and such. The law is slack. Nobody is upholding the law. Wickedness is praised and things like that. And that's what happens in the kingdom of Esau Edom, who is, the serpent seed, who is in charge of wickedness. So when you have an off balance like that, you're sooner or later it's going to have to come back to balance. That's how the Most High works. He creates good and he creates evil. It should not be more than another, because when you do that, you're knocking off balance, which also touches on, how we were wicked and we wanted to be like the heathen, so he put us under the heathen. But
And
now we're starting to wake up and understand, this is not the life we wanted. The grass is not always greener on the other side.
exactly. And to kind of piggyback what you're talking about, how you talking about Esau Edom is not a fit man to rule. Well, Yahweh already explained this to us. I want to jump to Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, which the righteous are the saints are the holy men of the Lord, which are our people, which is nation Israel, you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native American, the people rejoice. So the people are happy when we're in rulership. But when we're in rulership and we're ruling, the people are happy because we do it in righteousness. We do it in the right way. But when the wicked rule, the people mourn. So that's basically explaining what's going on right now is that the wicked are in power, and now you see people. You have dissension between the people, and you have dissension between the people and the rulership because they don't like the way Esau Edom is running things. They don't like the fact that they have been lied to, and a lot of these things that they have been told are just false narratives to keep them pushing along. Now they're starting to realize that all these rights and laws that they said that they had are not true, and that you can't even go outside and catch rainwater, you'll go to jail, or you can't even film the police try to make sure that everything goes correct in the situation without it escalating. People are starting to find out the truth about Babylon. Good afternoon, brother. Shalom, shalom. We doing all right? Copper colored American.
All right, to touch on that one, I'm gonna jump to Numbers, chapter 35, verse 33. So you shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Just like I read about Exodus and stuff like that. You know, you shed my blood, I have to shed yours. It has to be balanced. And but we have been so desensitized to allowing Esau Edom to get off on things, and that he's the face of, you know, the righteous and things like that. I can't think of the verse when he talks about how Satan is viewed as like the angel of light. I gotta find the verses for that, but basically that's what it's talking about. Like, we have let Esau Edom get off on so many things, and like it gets to a point where we're tired, and you see the riots. But rioting is not the way to go, because, like I said, you're not going to beat Esau Edom. You're not going to beat him with his blessing as the sword. The only thing you can do is return to the Most High and follow the law, statutes, and commandments. And a lot of people may not agree with that. The law is done away with and things like that, but that's your only solution. And he's told you that. You know, even when the Messiah came, he told you, you know, I'm not here to basically mess things up. I'm just here to fulfill the things that my Father has sent me for. So when people just be like, oh, the law is done away with, I mean, people love to read the New Testament. I mean, they can't explain, you know, Romans 7:1. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of stuff that you can, you know, show for that one. But that's the only way that's going to save us, is we have to repent, not for us. I mean, not only for us, but also for our ancestors, you know, because we are our ancestors. So we have to repent for overall. It's just like I was playing before, like, you know, you're in your parents' home. They tell you, you know, if you follow my laws and things like that, everything is going to be smooth. But if you're being disobedient, then of course you're going to feel the wrath. I mean, they might not be mad at you forever. You know, you know, they're going to forgive you, but you have to go back to following their laws. But if you keep being disobedient and such, you're going to keep being dismissed because you're doing all this and that. So we're not going to win this fight unless we have the Most High on our side. That's just what it is.
And if you don't have them on your side, that means you're against them. If you're against them, you sure not gonna win.
Exactly.
And I wanted to, before we
Go
wrap it
ahead.
up, I wanted to jump into Obadiah. I'm gonna start with verse 6. So, how are things of Esau searched out? How are these things sought up? So this is a rhetorical question. So he's asking, how are things of Esau Edom sought out? How are they searched up? So is there any truth in anything? So that's basically the question that's being posed, and we can use that verse and pertaining to now is that we starting to figure out and starting to see that a lot of these things that Esau Edom has put in our face and that he has researched and said that it is true, we find out that they're not true. We come to find out that these vaccines been killing people. We come to find out that that a lot of these foods, they have baby cells and a lot of bad harmful things for us, and we're just not finding these things out. A lot of these soap products are bad for us. A lot of these deodorants are bad for us. They putting aluminum in the air. It's a lot of different things that Esau Edom has not been educating us on because he likes to control the narrative. And then verse 8, shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and the understanding out of Mount Esau? So right there, he's telling you, and this is the time that we're approaching, is that he's going to wipe away the wise man. He's going to wipe away the understanding out of Esau Edom, so that he's going to put him in a lower state, back to a low state of confusion, and he's not going to have any understanding anymore. So there's going to be things that happen to his people individually that we don't have to worry about. That Yahweh's going to take care of that. It's written. He's going to take care of that. So we got to stop worrying about stuff that we can't control right now. We need to focus on us. Just like Brother Dan said, We got to get back to these laws. The battle's already won. The script's already written. We just got to follow it. And I wanted to end on 15. For that day of the Lord is near upon all heathen, not just Esau, Edom, all heathen, and that includes the wicked Jacob. Thou hast done, and it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. So right there, he's letting you know everything that everybody behind the heathen has done to the Lord and to his people, it's going to be recompense on your head. The same wickedness that we have been brought through, they got to go through the same thing. That's how the Lord works. An eye for an eye. Tit for tat. Anything you want to touch on?
Nah, I was just gonna close it with Romans.
Oh yeah, Romans and no, hold on. One more.
Nah, I read Numbers. I was just gonna
Okay.
close it with Romans.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So the last verse I'm gonna read is Romans chapter 12, verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith Yahweh. Simple as that. So when people are trying to go out here and try to get vengeance on like the government and stuff like that, you're not gonna do nothing but dig yourself in a deeper pit. You know what I'm saying? One, he tells you thou shalt not kill anyways. So I mean, you can defend yourself, of course, but don't go out there trying to seek vengeance. First, you have to fix yourself, you know, because you ain't doing nothing but dancing with the devil at that point. You're going to get yourself killed regardless. You just gotta leave that up to the Most High. It may not be swift, you know, but it will be severe and certain. You just gotta have patience. As long as you follow those laws, statutes, and the holy days, He's gonna take care of you. Just like I said before, like your parents tell you, okay, you follow these, you know, these rules, you're gonna be taken care of. You know, they're gonna make sure you clothed, they're gonna make sure you fed, and things like that. It's simple stuff like that.
Facts, just like you're saying, man. Like all these people out here doing these carnal things, that's not the way. And I want to jump to 2 Corinthians 10 and try to jump on that some more. I'm gonna start with verse 4. This is one of my favorite verses. Verse 4: For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Carnal meaning violent in a physical nature. That's what carnal is meaning. But mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds. So the only way we can pull down strongholds, and strongholds can mean many things. Strongholds can mean push-ups. Strongholds can mean lies.
Say that again. Can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, Salaki. Strongholds can mean many things. Strongholds can mean kingdoms or rulership, or they can be perpetuated lies that have been pushed for many years. Just like the fake Jewish narrative. That the only way these strongholds get pulled down is by the will of Yahweh. Then I want to go to verse 5. Cast down imaginations and every high thing that is exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bring it into captivity, every thought into the obedience of Yahweh Shah. Verse 6. And have it in readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. So before I go to verse, explain verse, I want to touch on 6, because just like he was saying, we got to evaluate our state first. So just like it was saying, when your obedience is fulfilled. So we have to fulfill our obedience first before we even ready to try to revenge or do anything like that. That's why right now, this is when we need to get in this word and get this knowledge and understanding about this. Because we got to be ready. We got to be fulfilled first. Because that's the first objective, is to get ourselves fixed first. And going back down to verse 5, when he's talking about cast down imaginations, that's going back to strongholds, going back to lies or stories that have been told over time that white people have always ruled Europe. No, Europe is our land. We ruled that land. And bring everything that exalts itself against Yahweh. Well, exactly, just like I said, the false Jewish state, or anything that is not according to his word, this Bible, anything that's going, he wants to bring it into obedience. And how he's going to do that? He's going to use Yahweh Shah to bring that to obedience. Anything you want to touch on that before we close it up?
Nah, you got it, man.
All right, man. I want to appreciate everybody that been jumping in with the live chat. This will be going on YouTube. All our live chats go on YouTube. So if you don't catch the full, you will be able to catch it on YouTube. And I want to thank everybody for the support. Shalom. And we're going to keep them pushing, man. Y'all be safe out here.
I mean, definitely, if they have questions, they can always DM you or me. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. I always, in the description of YouTube or anything, I'm always gonna put our @s for our IG. So y'all DM us, man. Hit us up.
Shalom.
Shalom. Y'all be easy, man.